Merry Christmas, everybody, or Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but I am the type of person that starts decorating on November 1st. Partially because it takes me that long to actually get everything perfect. And then I have all month of December to actually enjoy it. Comment below, are you a before Thanksgiving decorator or an after Thanksgiving decorator? Let me know. But this week is Thanksgiving and I am at my mother-in-law's house, which is why you see her fireplace in the background, because I'm jealous of the fireplace. I want one in my house so bad. But anyway, beside the point, today's video is going to be all about Christmas crafts and why you should get Rub and Buff this year to start your crafting. This is the first time I ever used Rub and Buff and I am a huge fan. This is going to be the first of many crafting videos coming your way because I've got a lot of ideas and I filmed a little bit, but I haven't gotten it all put together yet. So if you're looking for lots of different crafting videos, crafting ideas and everything, stick around because I'm going to have a lot coming your way. But let's get started with today's video and all of the Rub and Buff crafts that I did this year. So check it out. Okay, so my first craft is inspired by all of those vintage bells that you see everywhere in Mon Pottery Barn, on Magnolia's website, everywhere, and I absolutely love them. They're beautiful, they're vintage, but I knew that I could do them for way cheaper. So I got these cloche domes or whatever you call them, cloche, I don't know how to say the word. So I got those and I think I can DIY them to look like the vintage bells. Now obviously they're not going to be working bells, but who cares? They're outside. Okay, so the first thing I did was obviously take off the black bottom part and the sticker, and then I wanted to add some texture to them using hot glue around the top and the bottoms. Now, one thing I did not film that I also should have done at this point was glue on the rings that I got from Dollar Tree at the top. Then I spray painted them with this black chalked spray paint. It's my favorite spray paint. I have it on hand all of the time. And then after it dried, I was just able to do one light coat of the Rub and Buff on it. Obsessed with how this is turning out. Big fan of Rub and Buff, guys. Big fan. You'll see at the end how the ring at the top is attached, but then I just tied twine to it and then added it to my garland with this loose velvet bow to give it that perfect vintage look. Now it was time to make some smaller ones for the inside. So I first started by cutting up this cardboard tube that I have. It's the really thick cardboard tubes that come inside of the vinyl. I thought this would work better than just like a toilet paper or paper towel tube because they're stronger, so they'll be able to hold up a whole lot better. I then dug out my Easter decorations and picked out a couple of eggs and glued one side of the egg to the top of those toilet paper tubes. I also added the hot glue ring at the bottom to mimic the texture that I added to the bigger bells. Did the same thing, took them outside, spray painted them black, and then brought them inside with the Rub and Buff and was able to make a smaller version of the bells. Now, I didn't have a wooden ring that was small enough to fit on top of these bells, so I just took an aluminum can, cut them up into strips, and then wrapped that around and hot glued it to the very top. This didn't work with the bigger bells because the bigger bells were too heavy and the aluminum ring just kept falling off. But then I again tied it to twine, tied it with a loose ribbon, added it to my garland, and I'm loving how these turned out as well. Next thing I found were these bells from the Dollar Tree. Now I was hoping that I could find more of these, but I couldn't, so I was just going to go with what I had. I first removed the strings and the little knockers on the inside, spray painted them back, added them Rub and Buff. Now if you get this lucky and find some pretty ones like this, then you can skip a lot of the other steps that I had to do. But I added these to my wreath on the inside so that it sounded like Christmas as soon as you walk in my front door. Now the next craft came from my love of fireplaces and wanting to recreate a look like this, but since I don't have a fireplace, we put our stockings up on the board and batten wall. Now I was able to recreate the candlestick look by finding these candlestick holders at the Dollar Tree. Luckily, they're already black, and yes, Dollar Tree does have gold ones, but they were like a very not vintage gold. So with the Rub and Buff that I already had, I was able to make it look more vintage and like the brass gold candlesticks that you see everywhere at the antique stores but are way too expensive. Added them to my board and batten wall just like this, and also loving the look. My last rub and buff hack was how I updated my Christmas village. Now, a couple years ago, I bought this Christmas village from Target, and I have a total of 7 of these pieces, but they were just too modern for the look that I'm going for this year. So I just added some rub and buff to them, and it was just that simple. I think this gave this a brand new vintage more style look, and I'm obsessed with them. So that's all of the rub and buff crafts that I have for this year. I'm going to link down below the exact rub and buff that I used. A little goes a long way, so you can literally get this teeny tiny tube, and I didn't even use half of it yet. So if you guys are interested in rub and buffing something at your house, let me know what you're going to do, or let me know what your favorite craft that I did today was. Stick around because I'll have more crafting videos coming up. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Happy crafting and Merry Christmas.